Emotional wellness in children. What a very important topic. And I think one of the most important messages I remember about this whole subject comes from a child psychologist. I think his name was Bruno Bettelheim. He wrote a book called The Uses of Enchantment, where he talked about some of the fairy tales and their impact on children's lives. But at a conference that was actually held in Salt Lake City, someone once asked him, what is the most important thing that a child needs? And his answer quite promptly to that question was, what a child most importantly needs is to have one adult, or hopefully two, and hopefully his parents or her parents, who feel that that child is just the most wonderful thing that ever happened and feels that extraordinary acceptance of love. And if that is there, emotional wellness can usually be a foundation from which that child can then grow. Unfortunately, we live in an era where people are under a lot of stress, where sometimes a single parent is trying to just hold things together in order to put bread on the table and to pay a mortgage and so forth. And yet at the same time, even that stressed parent can try to give a message to a child that he or she is a worthwhile, competent person and that you love them. So I remember an experience where there were two parents and they were both in school, and a graduate student, dad was studying really hard for a final exam, and the little toddler kept going over and trying to get daddy's attention. And so how do you deal with a situation like that in terms of emotional wellness? I mean, certainly dad needs to pass the exam or mom needs to pass the exam, depending on who's taking the exam. But if it's possible, can dad or mom who's studying or is filling out the taxes or is paying bills or whatever, can they take that child up in their arms, look at that child eyeball to eyeball, and while they are taking the child back to the other parent, can they give emotionally the message, you are a worthwhile, competent person, I love you, you're the most important thing in my life, rather than, honey, come and get the kid. There's a real difference. It takes perhaps 20 seconds longer, but the benefit to that child can last a lifetime.